Going live. You're live. You might be live. You always have to wonder if you're actually live or if you'll have to retake the thing. Okay. So getting this one out of the way, although I was waiting to get this one in, I didn't know if it would come during the weekend or not, and then didn't. So, but it is a true unboxing. It's still in the carton. I haven't removed the actual box from the carton, which again can always be a bit daunting, a challenge for a video. But that didn't go too terribly bad. Okay, so here we have the box, and the box with the hole in it on the side. And what does this say? Carver in color 8. So I might need to change the title there. Harris Last Outsold Day Night. So there. Okay, now I had bought boots from them before, so I was a little more confident about the sizing. So that's why I'm just doing an unboxing this time, because the previous Coimbra pair I found very stylish, very nice looking. Ran a little big. I might need to still put an insole in there or wear with a thicker sock, but overall, how do I show that I'm removing the lid? We're removing the lid, people. Okay. You're not missing too much excitement off camera. And of course, I can do my little bit of trickery there. Okay. So what do we have in the box? In the box, we have a card that looks exactly like the box. Thank you. Thank you for choosing Caswell. This brand was built from our passion, and we are honored to have the opportunity to share it with you. Please do not hesitate to reach out with any questions or feedback. Warm regards, Squiggle. And it looks like it's hand signed, but I can't read who Squiggle is. Thank you, Squiggle. Okay, and then one's in a boot bag. Oh, they're both in a boot bag, but there's this paper. Kind of getting in the way. Okay, so boot bag, volume 1, and boot bag, volume 2. Okay, so, upside down. And so stamped with the name of the thing. And without further ado, or much ado, we have this. Now, I'm pretty sure I can safely call this a monkey boot, which is not necessarily my primary style, but I do have other lace-to-toe boots and a more work boot thing going on. The Georgia Logger boots, and which of course are a much more robust insulated thing, but with a much thinner, less fashiony leather, but with this added extra 1 or 2 eyelets coming down. And I did get the bison ones from Nick's, where they weren't as daring to go down because the bison leather might not take the extra stitching or whatever. Whereas, yeah, this is pretty thick. This is pretty robust. This is lined. Hang on. We'll get there. Oh, this has the same crap laces as the Grant Stone boots. So we might need to switch those out sooner than later. But I was looking at another video, and the guy had a pair similar to these in a green that I really, really wanted, but they didn't have that available. They only had this available. So I had to kind of compromise because Chromexel leather is not exactly my favorite. It's nothing to really write home about, but I don't have any other Oxblood boots except for the Grant Stone Edward boots. Edmund, Edward. Doesn't matter. I did the video. Oh, this is not a day-night sole. This is a Vibram sole. Okay, so what's on the box and what's on the boot are 2 different things. So notice that right away. And look at the stitching. We'll do each boot separately and all that jazz in a minute. I didn't want to wear the Edward boot casually prior to the holidays in case I use it for the holidays, because I didn't want it to get all creasy and stuff. Whereas something like this, I don't think you're going to notice the creasing and all that. So I can just wear this one sooner or more often and see how it fits and all that kind of thing without getting too, oh no, it got a crinkle, you know. So, okay, the tongue is thin, but looks like the other stuff. It's definitely not the same lined and all that as the other. Okay, toss that. There's a half sock liner going down. Oh, it looks like this one's already folded up a little bit. I absolutely hate that. I've requested with not pre-made boots, with Pacific Northwest boots, that they do a full one and they just ignore you. So everybody's pretty much doing that. The inside, the toe has a little bit of foam and the front has pretty much not much. So it's basically constructed about the same as the Grant Stone boot. I don't think this was, I think this was a little less expensive than their Grant Stone regular price, but I couldn't get it at a sale price. So it still ended up costing me more than the couple pairs of Grant Stones I just got. You can see there's a little bit of like that kind of crinkly thing going on already. Like I said, Chromexel leather being kind of the cheapest of the nicer leathers. So you're just going to get that. And they last as long as they last, and they do as well as they do, I guess, from what I understand. But again, to get this color for something that I can wear casually with more holiday colors or autumny colors or whatever, thought it was an okay boot for an okay price. And you said we'll have to see how it actually fits, but I don't expect any tragedies there. Last time I had a thing I could just throw down. Of course, I'm not wearing boot socks at all. I'm wearing, what do you call it? Ankle socks. Because I wasn't. It's early. I wasn't really planning on going anywhere. Yeah, it's with the shape of it, it's pinching my toe a little bit more, but I don't think it'll be too sloppy. I'm not lacing them up, obviously. I'm not walking around, obviously. Some people say that you're supposed to be able to lace the lace to toe, adjust it somehow, but everybody who says that also explains that when you're not using leather laces, that doesn't do anything, and most people who are in the boot world say it doesn't do anything anyway, because as you wear regular laces, they go more uniform, but even with the leather laces, it just looks different. It's just a look. It's not, there's no, I mean, how are you adjusting tension really here and here? So yeah, I mean, the proof will be in the pudding when I actually take them out and wear them. But like I said, I don't see any real sizing problem, except that like through here, it's touching my toe, which will annoy me. But I mean, I don't want them to be like all slidey around like, I don't know, bowling shoes or something either. So we'll figure it out. So yeah, we got triple stitching there, and then single stitching there, and then a little stitching across the top. Once again, almost none of these boot companies make anything taller than a 6-inch height or whatever. So you've got your standard deal, and you've got a bit of visible stitching here under the first lace. If I can get it to cooperate. Yeah, it's not meant to be a weatherproof thing or anything, but it is semi-gusseted tongue up to about whatever eyelet this is, which would be, 2 eyelets maybe on a normal boot and 4 here, I think. And then some, I'm assuming, real leather welts and heel stacks, one would hope. Not sure why it says one sole and then this sole, you know, maybe they got a bargain. I don't see a big difference. This one will actually have a bit more traction in theory than the day-night sole, so that's fine. No real problem there. Like I said, this is not one where a more rugged commando sole would be bad, as opposed to the ones that it came on the Grand Stone boot, where I would rather have something like this. So once again, I got the wrong outsole on the wrong boot, because I could see not using this for hiking per se, but having a more rugged look with it would be, oh, okay, he could go hiking if he wanted to, you know, that sort of thing. So what else do we need to look at? Well, we looked at the seam, we looked at the overall finish, the whatever. There's some, you know, dimples and gaps and places where it's going to fold and crease. And I don't know if somebody else tried this on before I did, but it doesn't seem like it. I think all these kind of wrinkles and things are just standard for the leather. And on a more stylish boot, personally, I would leave off the speed hooks, but here they are. I know a lot of people complain about how much longer it takes to lace up lacy boots, but this isn't a 10-inch boot where that's really an issue. Seriously. Or a lot of times they still put an eyelet here at the top that then you never ever use, but I don't usually lace all my boots all the way to the top, because a lot of times this will cut into me, but this is rounded at the top a bit more. Hopefully this will not cut too badly, although there is an edge there. I can feel that. That might be sharp where the liner and especially here where this comes together. This can be poking me, but I haven't had a significant problem with every single boot doing that. Made in Spain. There you go. And like I said, that sock liner already peeling up though. That's annoying. How long those sock liners are supposed to last before they start curling up and poking into your feet, but I really don't necessarily like that. Okay, on to boot number 2. For those of you who have stayed this long, it's going to look a lot like boot number 1. But herein where we see if there's any blatant issues. The outside. The toe, of course. I don't have to undo all the tongue and stuff as much, but I'll still get in there. So overall, like I said, just nice looking boots. Oh, extra pair of crap laces. So when I go to swap out the laces, it won't be with these. So now I have an extra pair that I can put in another boot if I really wanted to, that I never ever will. Okay. Just so you know, when I'm paying $400 or something for a pair of boots, I would like to get better laces. But that's what you get. And I don't know what these. I just find that they don't. I don't know. They don't grip or something, right? I mean, I'll walk around with them before I change them out and see how I feel. But I don't recall caring for them very much in the Grant Stone, and I think I put in leather laces maybe in a pair of those. So the sock liner a little less traumatized in this one. I don't see any heavy duty wrinkling or anything as much as the other pair. Creasing or crinkling or whatever word we want to go with, but you can see there is some grain, you know, to the cowhide. That whatever the tanning process does to bring that out or whatever. And they should have a reinforced toe, I would think. Some sort of cap in there, I imagine. And there's a seam and there's like I said, the edge. But then this kind of rolled part is more on the outside than the inside. So again, that might be annoying. That's why I almost always want 8-inch boots. The fact that I bought a whole bunch of 6-inch boots is kind of like, what are you thinking? But more fashion-y boots don't come in 8-inch heights very often, like I said. So that's your basic Wednesday morning boot review instead of Sunday morning boot review, but I already did 3 videos on Sundays that weren't boots or whatever, and that hardly anybody will watch. And then in the inside stamp, same as the Grant Stone with the genuine leather stamp, which of course genuine leather doesn't mean real leather, it means whatever quality leather. That may or may not be low quality leather, but typically we're hopefully getting something that's slightly better than the bottom of the barrel quality leather for the insoles and the midsoles and all that. And once again, the Vibram outsole, this particular pattern that I have not encountered before, and they might have showed this on the site and I just filtered it out because I don't usually pay too much attention to the outsoles when I'm buying a pair of boots, because I always assume that I'm going to want to replace it sooner or later anyway. This does have nails though too. I didn't really show that on the other one, but we'll give you some close-ups. And then the stitch is technically not channeled, but with this being raised, you do get a channeled stitch effect, so this stitching won't wear out as quickly as some other style of outsoles. So that helps a little bit because you wear this a little bit more slowly than you wear the heel. And so this heel cap can be taken off the heel stack and replaced separately of this. But will you be able to get this to match this when you get it resold? Maybe not. Don't know. Your luck of the draw. But yeah, make sure that the guy, does give you the proper nails or whatever when you do go get it redone. Don't let them just glue it and cheap out on you, right? There's a little bit of a dent there, a little bit of scratching. Stuff that either happens in the warehouse or in the shipping. You can see there's a blemish there in the hide, but nothing too noticeable. Again, that's where the Chromexel, they try to kind of paint over that a bit more than some other leathers where they're really trying to show you all the defects or whatever. But again, overall, not a style you're going to get in a Thursday boot. Some slight features you're not going to get in a Thursday boot. Is it worth twice as much as a Thursday boot? I don't know. Your results may vary because it is a similar leather than you can get in a Thursday boot. Other than that, yeah, I don't know what else to say. As usual, if there's any questions, you can go ahead and put them in the comments if I forgot something. And this one I'm going to try and wear sooner, but I doubt that I'll get enough use between now and like January for any proper wear review or anything, because I do have other ones rotating in and then out and not wearing them all as much as these ones and that ones and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. So we'll get to it when we get to it.